and welcome back to W Rated, the podcast where we willingly watch the world's worst rated movies. In today's episode, we are delving into another film on IMDb's bottom 100 list, welcoming a new special guest. So, for any new listeners, my name's Daisy, and as always, I'm joined by podcast co-creator, editor, and host, Claire. How are you doing today?
Hello, I am doing fine. I'm not at all frazzled and having lots of technical difficulties, and all is well.
Well, you convinced me. We are manifesting all good recordings and tech non-issues. Moving forward, everything will be fine, everything will be grand, and you'll be listening to this once it's all recorded and edited and delivered through your good podcast host, so you know it's true. Today we have joining us film writer, director and producer, and many other amazing things that happen on a film set. I'm sure I've looked at your IMDb credits. But joining us today, we have Warren Badenski. Welcome.
Hiya, thanks for having me.
No, most welcome. Really glad to have you along on the pod. We have a little bit of a tradition on the podcast, as you may know, that whatever film we're talking about, we'd love to hear from the guest what the film is, and just give it a bit of an intro into if you've got a relationship with the film, and if you do or you don't, why you actually chose to come on the episode and talk about it today. So I will hand over the mic to you and you can take it away.
Okay, I have a bit of a relationship with the film. Like most people, I sort of was growing up around the time that Boll hit the scene, or Ute Boll, the director. And I was one of those that kind of got obsessed with him, so I would watch sort of everything, partially as a filmmaker as well. Like, it started with Alone in the Dark, where I would recommend any filmmaker watch that movie. That is a Bible on filmmaking. Like, if you are stuck on how to make a decision, watch that movie, do the opposite.
I wish that we could retroactively.
I'm going to cut that and put it in as an intro to our Alone in the Dark episode.
Because we just recorded it and I was like, oh my god, I wish we could have that, but through the magic of stacking and our edits, we can.
Yeah, I'm going to get a soundbite on all of them now.
Yes, our Ute Boll expert, what's the word? Correspondent.
Yes,
that's
correspondent. I feel like every person we have on to talk about Ute Boll wants to be our Ute Boll correspondent. What a legacy this man has.
Yeah, I don't think any of us...
And I'd never even heard of him before this list. Soz. My bad.
Yeah, it all started
might be
as...
a good thing, that might be a bad thing.
Yeah, it's tricky, because I've definitely lost a lot of life I could get back to some of his movies. I got the chance to meet the man once. That was interesting.
Did you?
I did.
Tell us more.
My hometown of Swindon did a film festival many years ago, and he showed off the premiere for his film Rampage.
Oh.
So he came and he hosted and he did a Q&A, and I got to meet him. I got him to sign a DVD or poster that I got. It was,
nice one.
And it was all pleasant above board?
Yeah, he seemed pleasant, talking about his movie. He was very passionate, very anti-Hollywood. And, some things he says make sense and some things, is crazy.
Not so much.
there is a woe is me kind of attitude with him. It's little things where it's like, Michael Madsen's performance in Blood Rain was terrible because Michael Madsen was an alcoholic at the time, and
not wrong.
we had to do this and that just to get him to stand up, which was quite funny because I'd met David Carradine, who had expressed similar concerns about Michael Madsen during that time period.
Oh, right.
Michael Madsen, please seek help and be well.
Yeah, I think he's gotten a lot better. I hope so. As for Dungeon Siege, it was one of those ones where, I think Crank had just come out, so I was like big into the Staith at the time, and my mum loves Ron Perlman, so that was another like, let's back this. It's Boll getting the big budgets, because the complaint on all of his other films is sort of like he didn't have the budgets to do it.
I couldn't believe the cast in this even, like that he
I
had
know,
the budget
the cast
for
is
this
so
cast.
stacked.
I was like, I go there.
was like, this is really confusing because I thought Ute Boll was like, I don't know, this feels like underground kind of thing. And I'm looking at this cast like, this feels Hollywood. This feels like, well, I'm sure we'll be comparing it to a few other fantasy films along the way. But I was very surprised. And the vibe that I got is this his only kind of movie of that kind with that kind of budget and cast. It's the vibe I get, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, that was very much something he expressed on that evening, was talking about like this movie, this is his big budget thing, and it didn't pan out, and he was like, I'm not a big budget filmmaker. Like, that didn't work for me. I'll just take small budgets to be left alone.
I feel like of the two others that we've seen and covered, this is probably not the worst of the three. So maybe he is a big budget man.
But one of the things he used to do was hire, like, actually pay people. So they're all like, well, why are these people in here? It's because they got a nice paycheck.
And we do support a man who pays his staff.
And
it's a nice basic requirement that we fully support.
That you find apparently in Hollywood, isn't that normal?
No. Like, the more you listen to filmmakers and the more you sort of like look into things, you're like, wow, nobody really seems to be able to make like just a living doing the one thing. This is why you see people cropping up in like everything, or doing 3 or 4 different professions.
Oh my god, Sydney Sweeney, that girl works, and good for her, because she is like, I need the money, I want a house. Like, she does every advert.
But it's good that people... It's good that she's talking about it, though, because I think even off the back of it, people are like, oh, yeah, right. But it's true. People don't really think about the fact that, you know, just because someone's well-known as a celebrity, that they necessarily have money. And I think especially with this new generation coming in and through, you know, you've obviously got the writer's strike and all of the stuff going on with streamers and things like that, and cost-cutting. It's... Cost-cutting? Cost-cutting, there we go.
Yeah.
It's becoming even more sort of like strained that all of this money is kind of bypassing all of the creative people and all the people that do all the work into the big exec guys. So, but I'm not surprised that Ute Boll's reaction was, just because he's good at it doesn't mean he liked it. I imagine with a budget like that, had a lot more people intervening and having a say on how things were. But I don't know if either of you read in or knew about it previously, how he felt about the film. I didn't really see much about his, you know, we've seen his opinions on certain people and his cast and things like that before, he kind of goes, oh, it was this, it was that. But I don't know. I know you said he didn't necessarily like working with big budgets, but be interesting to know whether this was something he felt was quite authentic to him still.
Yeah, it's very similar to his. Boll has 2 very different sort of, I think, styles, where he had money and you got these kind of glossy things where most of it doesn't hit. And then at some point, it's like when he starts doing Blood Rain 2 and things, and his budgets are in like the single millions, it all becomes sort of like handheld and very different. Sort of thing. You can tell they're moving a little too quickly, probably. Could have done with a second take on things.
Right. Well, I know that we've sort of dived into a little bit in Ute Boll's career already. I think we're so well versed now. This is what, our third Ute Boll film?
So we've done Blood Rain and Alone in the Dark,
and Alone in the Dark, which we've now got an excellent soundbite for. But just to recap, before we, because I'd be interested to see what Claire thought about going into this film now that we have do know who Ute Boll is and his previous works. As you all know from the podcast title, we are talking about the In the Name of the King, a dungeon siege tale, which is a 2007 German-American action fantasy film, of course directed by Ute Boll, and starring the absolute stacked cast of Jason Statham, John Rhys Davies, who you'll know as Gimli from Lord of the Rings, if you don't know, and also in Indiana Jones. Ron Perlman, which Warren mentioned, the titular Hellboy, if you're not sure who he is. Matthew Lillard, who I was so excited to see, from Scream. And
joy when he appears on my screen.
On screen, and voice of Shaggy, Ray Liotta, which needs no introduction, Burt Reynolds, and then a few other people as well. We've seen Lily Sabitsky before from Wicker Man, and Claire Forlani was another starring member. She's been in Meet Joe Black and Mallrats. So wow, like that's not even everyone that's in there. There was also the lead actress from Blood Rain is in there as well. Interesting, before we go into sort of spoilers and chatting more about the film itself, this is quite low on the list in terms of it. Well, it's high, low. It's number 94, so this is definitely verging on the edge of, is this bottom 100? Could it potentially edge its way out if a few more rubbish films come in the next few years? Who knows? But it's a 3.8 on IMDb, so yeah, kind of for our range, it's quite high. And I think as we sort of delve into the details, we'll sort of discuss why that could be. But Claire, before we do so, I'm interested, this is our third Boll film. What were you thinking when you click play on this film?
I was thinking about, I don't know how well known it is, my utter disdain of Jason Statham and how I go out of my way in life to just completely avoid any film starring Jason Statham.
Oh, I did not know that.
Because I kind of clicked it, I was like, oh fuck, I forgot this is Jason Statham. Actually, he's fine. I checked, this is only my fourth Jason Statham film. I think I just prejudged him. Because he did, what were those, like, was it Crank or something? Like,
oh yeah.
The trailers for them made my soul die. So I just have avoided him since seeing those
it's
trailers.
just him going,
yeah, I'm like, I'm a London bloke and I can run and hit things. Yeah. I'm like, that's not cinema. I've never seen the films. Perhaps they are cinema. It's only my fourth Jason Statham film.
Have you seen him in any of his older stuff like Snatch?
So
Lock, Stock,
I have seen Snatch. I watched that in the pandemic. I enjoyed Snatch. I have seen him in Romeo and Juliet.
Brilliant. Well, that was going to be my next one. My next question.
And I've seen him in Spy, and I did enjoy Spy. Actually, Spy was great fun.
I haven't seen that, but it's meant to be very good.
It's not great, but it's fun. It would be my, like...
Okay, got you. It's one of those. Right.
Yeah.
I've heard good things.
Yeah. But I've avoided him, so that was my main. And then I also... This is the thing. So I'm scared of Uwe Boll. His films have actually... For some reason, when we started this podcast, when people started talking to us about, oh my god, Uwe Boll films,
I was scared to watch them.
And especially because that poster for Alone in the Dark looks so gross, and then the Blood Rain poster kind of sounds creepy, and the name and everything. I just keep expecting to get like shock horror,
disgusting,
yeah,
and weird.
None of it's that. He's just a
repulse.
Yeah, but I never get any of that.
People use these words around his films, and I think I'm going to say it now. This is our third film. I feel like he's quite unfairly judged.
Yeah, they're not the right terms. I'm not saying that what he does is great work, or like we discussed a lot about Alone in the Dark and the choppiness of that film, but being disgusted and reviled just gives me an entirely different path.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and I wonder if it's related to the fact that the timing of it, what he was doing, and the certain people that were responding to it. And then I think this is also another video game adaptation.
And I also think then also his response. Oh no,
back, a game adaptation.
His response back probably didn't help. But yeah, so I think avoiding Jason
the word
Statham.
vile has been described him, and I've kind of then made it synonymous with his films. Yeah,
but so I had the Uwe Boll issue, the Jason Statham issue, and then probably top 3 worst genres to me are like epic, Middle-earthy, fantasy, maidens. So this just everything about this poster, me clicking the link on Amazon, I was like, not gonna have a good time.
I actually I had to mentally prepare myself for this one because I was like, right, I was away sort of over the last week or so, and I was like, what I don't want to do is come back and feel like I have to squeeze it in and the research and everything before we record. So I want to watch it before I go away, come back, no rush. But I was like, okay, so it's my last day at home before I go to my partner's before we go away, and I'm choosing to watch this over 2-hour film, which again is not my genre, but what I will say is the cast definitely drew me in. I was more excited to watch it because I was just like, this is a really, really interesting number of names considering what we've looked at before with Uwe Boll. So yeah, I didn't know anything about it beforehand. I knew it was an Uwe Boll film on the list. And as I watched it and all this cast were happening, I was like, okay, I could get involved. I can get involved with these people. Let's see what happens. So without further ado, let's go into spoilers. If you're listening, you haven't seen it, you don't want it spoiled, go away and come back. Welcome back if you've watched it. Here we go. We're gonna look to the magic of pausing. We're gonna dive straight into spoilers for In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale. Please, I want to know, Warren, what are your thoughts about this film, and have they changed since you last watched it as well?
Well, my thoughts were kind of like meh on the first time I watched it. Like, that wasn't as bad as I expected.
You didn't tell him that though, right?
I don't.
At the premiere.
I'm trying to think if I'd watched In the Name. I must have watched In the Name of the King by then. No, we got talking about Postal, which is a film I enjoyed much more, but it's vile and trashy. So if you ever cover that one, if you think something's bad taste, it gets worse. Trust me.
Oh, okay. No. Okay, that's the one maybe that people have been talking about.
Because that game's bad taste, like humor in general. So he rolled with that. But this one was just kind of like, yeah, you know, it's not Lord of the Rings. It clearly wants to be, but you know, it's kind of just hit that sort of almost TV level of things. It's fine. Right. Yeah, there will be a list of other films I'd watch before picking this one, probably.
Yeah, so not one that you're gonna necessarily rush to back again after if you get that sort of fantasy itch. There are definitely lots of parallels to draw with a lot better of the fantasy epics. There's a lot of comparisons I've seen with Lord of the Rings. The story itself is nothing like it, but in terms of tone, the sweeping,
the casting of John Rhys Davies.
The casting of John Rhys Davies in particular, I think kind of, you know, people they see something, they associate it, and they can't imagine that it's something completely different. And obviously a really, really big cast of great people. But were they great in this, Claire? That's a big question.
So here's my conundrum. As I watched this film, I couldn't tell if it was a good or bad film, because I think all fantasy films are terrible. I detest the Lord of the Rings films. So I think they're some of the worst made things ever. They literally bore me to sleep. I don't understand what anyone gets for the value from any of those films. So as I watched this, I was like, you could come in and tell me this is the worst thing ever made, and I'd be like, sure. Or you could come in and tell me this is the best fantasy film ever made, and I'd be like, okay, sure. Like, I
see what you mean.
Yeah, I was just watching it, I was like, is this good? Is this correct? I don't know, because it just felt as stupid as they all seemed to me. So I'm gonna be quiet for a lot of this because I have so few opinions.
But I make you right in a way, because it's like I kind of felt similarly. I find some of these, and when I say fantasy, I don't just mean any kind of fantasy. It's the medieval kind of kingdom, war, battles kind of stuff. I do struggle to maintain that engagement with them. The thing that helped me was the cast and just the sheer like confusion that all of these people in an Uwe Boll film, and maybe I've completely misunderstood the situation. But I mean, I saw something about the runtime and how actually chop 40 minutes off, this could potentially be like it's a so bad it's good film. But what happens is it's extended, and it goes for the, not just that a longer film means it's good, of course, but it takes itself quite seriously in the sense of, okay, no, we're really going to go for it. And unfortunately, you're right, you then go, okay, is it good? Is it bad? It's taking itself very seriously, but if maybe it had a bit more humor, it could be so bad it's good. But instead, it kind of just lands somewhere in the middle where it's just a bit meh and a bit reminiscent of other stuff that's probably better.
If they'd have let Matthew Lillard go full crazy, I would just ride so hard for this film. Just make it all about him being a maniacal villain. Oh my god.
Yeah, he was already chewing scenery, but he would be like, literally tearing it apart.
Imagine if he was the evil Magus.
Yeah.
If he'd had Ray Liotta's role.
Oh, like not the Ray.
That's
Ray Liotta is an amazing actor, but I would have loved to have seen Matthew Lillard in that role. He would add so much fun.
Yeah, he was, for me, he was one of the like one of, if not the most interesting thing in the film. It felt like, I know obviously Jason Statham, we've talked about, he's the lead in the film. He is known as Farmer. because he essentially didn't have a family, and he saw himself as the role that he played in the community that raised him. And as we say, spoilers, it turns out he's actually the king's son, so the prince.
So this is sort of bugged me. Now, this film had like 5 endings, and I kept zoning out. But on a core
when will it end?
We find out that he belonged to the king, and that he, what's his face's character found him as a child and just brought him home.
Ron Perlman.
Did you not check that he didn't belong to anyone? Did he not maybe tell you, FYI, my parents are the fucking king and queen? Like, I feel like...
Yeah, because how old was he when he got taken? I can't remember.
He was 3.
Okay. I think I thought he was like 6. I think I thought he was older.
Right.
Cool. So then that backs up my second point even more. You adopt a 3-year-old and just pass him around the town, which is weird enough as it is. Did not one person have the fucking heart to give him a name? Like, just one. One person be like, hey, hun, like, maybe we should give you a name. Like,
but did they call him Farmer when he was 3 then?
Well,
I thought that...
What did they call him? Did they just go,
yeah,
Orphan Boy, for like, Orphan Boy, it's your turn to go live with the cranks up the road?
They probably would just go, boy.
I just can't believe that if an entire village looked after him, not one person thought to give him a fucking name.
Well, I don't know if it was in your cut of the film, because I watched the extended cut, and I honestly couldn't tell what was extra, even though there were 37 extra minutes, apparently.
Oh, it's like over 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
I think I watched the original because I watched the version that was on 3D rather than the version you had to pay for. And I was confused why there was a 2007 and a 2008 version. So that would make sense if I watched the original, maybe the extended is the 2008 version. Thank you for clearing that up.
There you go. But there was a conversation between the wife and the son near the beginning when they're heading off to the market. And the son said, why do they call Dad Farmer? And she's
yes. No,
that was in our
Oh, that's in the beginning.
Yeah.
She's like, apparently they called him Boy. Up until the point he was like, I'm a farmer.
Right.
But that's ridiculous. Okay. If a whole village has the heart to look after the child, surely you'd fucking give him a name.
You think they put it in a hat?
About... yeah. Did they say anything about the fact that did they go looking for him or like the?
No, they were told. The king did say he was told there had been no survivors.
Yeah, that they were all dead.
Oh yeah, sorry. What was the situation again? What had happened?
So Ron Perlman found him wandering around the battlefield and assumed that he belonged to someone in that village who had died. The king was told by his advisor that there were no survivors and everyone was dead. But he was like, the king was like, did you not look for a body? And I guess the guy was like, no. Soz.
Yeah,
didn't think of that.
This just feels like a bit of neglect on the...
Neglect on
the
everyone's
part.
Just on everyone's part. Someone abducted a child. Someone abandoned a child. No one
didn't think to check where they were from. Didn't think to check the where the body. Yeah, it's all very convenient for the village that needed a farmer. That's all I'll say.
Presumably, he would have been dressed in like nice prince clothes or something. Right. So they just hawk all of his jewelry or stuff.
A conspiracy is afoot. What I was going to say beforehand as well was that, so Jason Statham's our lead, but this very, and quite rightly, the cast is so big and really great names. They do share a lot of screen time across the board. You've got your main villain, but then also a bit of a villain B. So Radiator is like a dark mage, and he's the one that's causing basically... the invasion of his... I can't remember what the creatures are called now.
The Krugs.
The Krugs.
Definitely not orcs.
No. If you're thinking orcs, stop right now. You're wrong. But Matthew Lillard is the king's nephew, and he very much wants to take the throne, and he's a bit of an a-hole, and
like
but he's like the best thing about it.
He thinks he's the villain and that Ray Liotta is his student.
Yes,
but it's very much the other way around.
Yeah, they're kind of working together, but then they're using each other, etc., etc. And he ends up being a bit of a fool. But I think that's the problem, is that maybe they try. It works and it doesn't, because I like seeing all the different faces. It kept me engaged until the battle scene anyway, where I glazed over a little bit, but that's a me problem. But then you're right, it didn't. You got the motives on a very basic level, on a very archetypal level. But we didn't, when we spent time with each character, I didn't really feel like I got anything motivational from them as individuals.
It's the
and
thing
I feel
that
it was
said,
probably the closest, but it just didn't go far enough.
I think it's the thing that we said, that we still don't know if it's an Ute Boll problem or a gaming problem, but I say this every time, in that they are literally ripped from the games, and game characters are complete archetypes, so that you can just, anyone can pick them up and play them.
Plonk yourself in. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the issue of, is it just that they're taken from the games, or is it that Ute Boll doesn't know how to do character development? I don't know which is.
I'm inclined for the latter.
I'm giving him too much credit.
I think it is part of a problem. I don't think he thinks things out very much. Especially, I guess you've probably heard it on the Blood Rain one. Like, they worked off the first draft.
Yeah.
And so, like, none of the holes have been filled in yet.
He's an it'll do kind of man.
And this film, you might have been...
Get her done.
Yeah. And this film, its length is down, like it being so long, is down to the fact that they were going to split it into 2 films. They really wanted to go Lord of the Rings style. But they just figured they'd work it out in post. Like, they didn't put a gap in the script.
Oh no.
And then they couldn't find a point to cut the film into 2, so
that makes so much sense as to why it feels like there's 4 endings, because there feels like there's a really nice resolution, and then it just keeps going. And I was like, that's weird, that I feel like they could have all been merged together in a much shorter, compact way. But if they thought they were getting 2 films out of that, then that makes so much more sense.
I think he's the kind of guy that's like, maybe he, like, who is it? Like, Francis Ford Coppola kind of finds the film as he makes it, and so it can change on the fly. And I think Boll does that. Like, he tries to find the film as he's making
talent.
it. Well, yeah.
The other one...
Well, no,
one person...
having watched the Apocalypse Now documentary, it's more that Coppola has an extensive amount of money and shoots for, like, 2 years.
Right.
Whereas Ute Boll was just fair. Like a, let's all be done by 5 and hitting the bar by 7.
It's that producer mind.
Yeah.
We have
Boll
said
don't
he's
pay
a good
overtime.
businessman.
Yeah, that's it. He's not paying anyone overtime. He's not going over budget. He's not going over production. I think he's a great producer.
Yeah,
he's like kind of the role model for like good enough, and I have to respect that. I do have to respect that.
He's like, it got done.
Good enough in his eyes. I must clarify.
Well, he's like, I will say, the films are always full films. They might be a bit patchy in the middle, but they always have beginning, middle, ends. They always there's never just gaping like what happened. Like they are. It's just they're always proficient at best. But you know what? That's the kind of worker I am too. So respect. I had to do a thing today. It was like, why do you choose to work here? Why do you still work here? And I was like, is it inappropriate for me to just go, money, need more money, like money to live.
I like money. Say it like Mr. Krabs. I like money.
Someone was brave enough to say that they worked there for the perks, and I was like, bravo.
Nice.
Surely they want the feedback that that's working.
It was meant to be.
Otherwise,
like
they might stop the perks.
Well, they're trying. Anyway, less about my job. I'm not really allowed to talk about it.
No, she's not allowed to talk about it. It is Fight Club. You were right. Interestingly, Ute Boll didn't. I mean, I can't remember. Did he write on the other ones? But I can see here the writers. I don't know if he did anything to do with the story. I'm just like trying to.
Don't believe he has writing
my way
credits on
through
the others.
IMDb. So we've got a few names here. Jason Rappaport. Looks like it's the only thing he's done. Although that name rings a bell, so I'm not. Yeah, just 1 credit. I mean, I've got 2 credits. I know. No, I know. I was just shocked. So I don't know where that aggressive.
Can I start adding my student films so I can get credits?
Do it. I've lost mine. Lost mine to the sands of time. Dan Stronach also did this Soul Assassin and The Hand of Now. Not heard of those. However, Doug Taylor actually wrote one of the films that I'm pretty sure I mentioned as an honorable mention on Alone in the Dark, our top 3 monster films, which is Splice, which is very weird.
Oh yeah.
Which is a very weird film. But I like it. A Christmas Horror Story, which is weirdly a film I did PR for in 2015 for the home release, so I better be nice. So he's, and Darknet in 2013, that rings a bell as well. So he's done some other stuff in the meantime. But the other guy's a little bit more into the more of the obscurity, or maybe just haven't even did that one film and then wasn't working in the industry anymore. So
I mean, the screenwriter either the screenwriter or director of Easy A doesn't have another credit, so and that film's fucking dynamite.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh my god, that's such a shame. But then I suppose it's just like, don't even, like, that is so perfectly encased. Just leave it there, like,
He's just like, I've perfected it.
Yeah.
We
made the perfect on-screen father. Nothing more needs to be done.
Well, this is it. We're still talking about it to this day. So not that it's that old, but so yeah, I think I agree with you in terms of the writing. I have to kind of respect his way of filmmaking because he gets the job done. He makes films that he wants to make. He doesn't take shit from anyone. I'm not so hot on the other bits we hear about him, but that's by the by. We've discussed those at length before. But in terms of this film, my reaction is it's really hard for me to feel like I can fairly but no, you have to take taste into account. It can't be subjective because art's not subjective. It can't be objective. I don't massively like battle scenes and fantasy films that, like, I don't know, I just find it really hard to relate. I know it's meant to be escapism, but I find more relatable stuff easier, like more human-driven stories rather than plot-driven stories, character rather than plot. However, I was kind of pleasantly surprised by this film. I think it's the strongest that we've seen so far in terms of like coherence and the way it's made and everything like that. For me, I felt like if this was a 90s film, it would probably be a bit of a cult classic. Yeah. Like, it gives that kind of 90s kind
especially
of,
with
like,
Matthew Lillard.
Willow.
Let him go just a little bit more. It would definitely
Yeah. Kind of give me a bit of like Willow vibes, I just felt like it had been, if it had come out a bit before, the it would be a bit more forgiven in terms of its shortcomings, and there was enough in there for people to still like and kind of be like, oh, look at this cast, etc., etc. But I think it's just one of those things where you've come out when did Lord of the Rings come out? 2001, something like that, early 2000s. This is coming out sort of the end of the 2010s or mid to end of the 2010s. It's been done so much better that it's like whoever your audience are, if they are those kinds of people, they're going to see better options. If they're not the kind of people that like those films necessarily, I don't see if there's enough here to really capture their attention beyond the cast. And unfortunately, I don't think the cast had enough to work with from the script itself. But I don't know, maybe they had fun. It looks like they had a bit of fun, but who knows on a Ute Boll set.
His cast normally do give him somewhat decent credit, don't they? I feel like we've had before that like his cast normally seem pretty okay with him.
Yeah, definitely. We've definitely heard that before. And at the end of the day, these are big names. If they heard bad things about him and he wasn't a good enough filmmaker for them, they wouldn't work with him.
I mean, that's absolutely bold right lie, because people still work with absolutely appalling directors like your man.
Oh no, but I know, but he hasn't got like a name that's like
it's got
credible.
Like a prestige behind it.
It's not like prestige, people do it for other people who are absolute arseholes and wrong ones because it's still the name of the film. Whereas Ute Boll, it's like, did it have that appeal and its prestige? I don't imagine it did at that time. So for me, it feels like they must be going into it for something, and it must be to do with the way he makes films or the fact that people enjoy making films with him. Because, like I say, I was very surprised to see these names on the list. So
I think a lot of it comes down, like, unconventional casting as well. Like, I don't think Ray Liotta's played an evil wizard before, so that's something that
That's
sounds
a shame.
kind of cool.
That is a shame. He should play more. I enjoyed his evil wizardness.
I did too. I did.
I didn't like the opening scene with the very intense kissing. I was like, it's one of them stealing like power from the other, which is why I was like, okay, confirmed. I thought she was evil and he wasn't.
I think it's because the effect looks wrong. Because you got the glow coming from her, and then his face is going
really
all like blue, like he's shriveling up.
Yeah, thank you. I thought I'd imagined that.
And then he should.
I clearly wasn't paying attention from get go because I'm like,
it looked like she was sucking the life out of him, but he was instead stealing the magic from her. But yeah, the effect was strange.
Yeah.
But other than that scene, totally down for him as an evil wizard.
On that, let's talk a little bit about the effects, because this film includes 1,280 shots of digital effects, and apparently Ute Boll claims he had to fire several different CGI providers who had outsourced their jobs to lower quality studios that worked for less money. Interestingly, what do we think about that? Because obviously, well, just how it came across the effects in general, because this is a fantasy film. You've got magic. I mean, the battle scenes always probably need to have a little bit of embellishment there, but you do have real life actors playing the Krugs.
I mean, someone had to
that was a bit more practical.
Someone had to appallingly animate the boomerang.
Oh my god, the boomerang! Oh my god, I genuinely described this film to my partner as Jason Statham medieval has a boomerang. Like that,
and there are many letterboxd reviews that give the same summary.
I think the boomerang comes up twice, 3 times maybe,
must
and then
be
is never to be seen again.
Must be something specific to the game.
I always keep forgetting about the game.
That's what I thought, and I'd listened to a couple other podcasts because I was trying to see if someone's actually played Dungeon Siege, because nobody seems to have ever played it.
Nobody has.
And one person said they found it on Steam and they managed to get it to work. And they only played it for, a few hours, but they never saw a boomerang.
No boomerang.
Like, as far as they got in it.
The boomerang. Maybe it's like, you know,
when
you unlock the cat suit in Mario or something, you have to be a certain level.
And somebody said maybe it's their, a nod to Lord of the Rings because it filmed in New Zealand. They're like, but
oh dear,
boomerangs are Australian. It's like, that sounds like a mistake Boll would make.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. It started to verge on a bit like, is this a parody? Because obviously we've done quite a few parodies on the podcast.
I think it was when Ron Perlman started doing roly-polies at some point. So he fell down and did some rolls. And I was like, I don't really know. And it reminded me of that. I never watched it. But what was that film that I feel like was it called Your Highness? That was the stoner version of one of these films.
Yeah.
I felt like this could have been.
Oh, this is ringing a bell.
Yeah, with Natalie Portman and I want to say the Franco and McBride.
Yeah, that sounds right. But I felt like this could have been an early blueprint for that.
Yeah.
Right.
We watched this and just if we just took it a little further, everything's there.
What is it? Because this is what I was saying. It's it just takes itself too seriously because it's almost as if you need a bit of self-awareness. You're releasing a film like this, maybe a couple of years after the last Lord of the Rings came out, and that's been winning Oscars. It's cemented itself in culture, but it's still so recent that it would still be in people's mind in a way of going, we can't follow that. Was there something that they could have done to make it a little bit we're doing something different? And I suppose maybe at the time it did feel a bit different. Maybe it's just because it's an easy comparison, because the story itself has got nothing to do with anything like Lord of the Rings. So
no, but the story's very generic of that sort of, lost child comes back. You know,
there's
there isn't really much of a story, is there?
It's just the classic, greedy person tries to steal the throne and an unlikely heir comes as a surprise. It's
Yeah,
I've seen that story done a million times.
That's so funny that you've described that so easily and quickly when there's so many people in this cast, and I'm like, how did we need so many characters to make that happen?
Because you got, I mean, the only thing they could have done...
We saw the archetypes, right?
Yeah, the only thing they could have done is doubled up on a couple, and like you could have had the magical person also be his wife. Excuse you. But that wouldn't have really like made sense. So I'm glad they didn't do that. You know, it's nice to have two women in the film.
It was. Well, there was also the person I can't remember her name, who was in Blood Rain. She was like the
tree nymph.
Yeah, the tree nymph. I kind of liked that.
I would have liked more.
Kind of gave me
a
bit like a Tinkerbell vibe.
I would have liked more of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
That was there was some nice practical stuff in that, effect wise. And it just provided a little bit of levity and a bit of light, and it was a bit more of the fantasy versus the action. I did like the tone of this film. It was quite cozy. Considering I was watching an Ute Boll film, and we've watched two films like Blood Rain and Alone in the Dark. They are a bit dank and dire, so this had a little bit more light to it. So I didn't mind that. But going back to the story, what did you guys think of it? Because for me, I think there was a lot of characters going on, and like I said before, I didn't really feel like they earned that specific motivation. It was the archetype of the game sort of stand-ins. But did you like where it was going? Like, did you know straight away Jason Statham was king in waiting? Or
I think I clocked it a little bit earlier than it was revealed. Because I was like, right, where is this going? How are they going to link up? And I was also like, why is everyone so curious about him? Like, what makes him the chosen one? And then I was like, once I was like, oh, it's about like stealing the throne. Because I think I thought Matthew Lillard was a prince, not a nephew. So once I actually got that right in my brain, I was like, oh, he's not going to be in line for the throne. And so I was like, it's going to be Jason Statham. And it's, you know, it's a classic of the genre. The lost son returns to get rid of the greedy heir. I thought it was fine. Didn't feel particularly original, but I don't know the source text to know how original the source text was. And it fitted, I think, was the thing that I found fine. Like, I like a lost child reunited kind of vibe. It was fine.
Yeah, I would say fine is a good descriptor.
How many times have I said fine? Re-listen to this podcast and take a shot every time I say fine.
Take a shot. Aye. Good luck if you make it this far.
I'm not sure how... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I think the story is fine. I think it's got a lot of setup and not so much on payoff.
That's a really good point. Because it feels like it's building up for a long time. So like you say, Claire, where is this going? How does everything connect? There's a lot of, like I said, big cast, lots of scenes here, there and everywhere. We know their motivations based on who their character is. It's a lot of tell, not show. And we're kind of like, these chess pieces are kind of standing in their places for quite a while. And everything gets brought together in a big battle scene. And this is when you start to get all of the different endings. And it kind of, the thing that stuck with me was sort of, as we sort of then moved past the battle into Farmer, when he actually defeats Ray Liotta's character, well, almost, but then his wife comes in and finishes it off. That kind of felt a little bit more like it was tying up and coming together in a more traditional way, because, it did feel like it plodded for a bit. It was all kind of come to this battle sequence, and then you have the thing of like, oh, the king's dead, so therefore Matthew Lilliard's the king. Sorry, I can't remember his character name. Then you find out that, you know, Jason Statham's the farmer is the prince, and it's very sort of like multiple things are happening, but people don't necessarily know about it. So it feels kind of stop and start, and usually that can build quite a bit of tension. But instead, it kind of felt like we've got multiple timelines happening at the same time, and they didn't really know how to edit them together to make them as impactful as they could be.
I don't know about yourselves, especially like Warren, I'd be interested in your opinion of this, because you haven't really said your opinion of that kind of film. But like, I find all kind of quest medieval films to follow that exact same pattern and to have that pacing issue. Like, the main reason I don't like the Lord of the Rings films is because the pace for me, I know that people go on about how brilliant and world building it is, but it just felt like it was like, and now they're walking through a forest. Let's cut to someone else.
I was about to say,
and now let's cut back,
and this happened, and this happened,
and there's still.
happened.
Well, it's not even nothing was happening. It was just, and they're still walking in the forest. And now let's go see what's else. And they're still in the forest. And now let's see. So like that didn't strike me as odd because that strikes me as a trope of the genre. Yeah, but I'd love if there are people, because I'm assuming people screaming at me through their headphones about the sacrilege things I'm saying about one of the most popular trilogies ever made. But I'd love to know, like, if
they just plodded along, weren't they?
If you have an opinion, or you can at me. It's fine. Does this do it better, same, worse? I'm assuming worse than other films of its ilk.
Oh, I think it definitely does it worse. I really like Lord of the Rings.
Sorry.
It happens, but I find Lord of the Rings is extremely unique. Like, that movie done very similarly in another way would be terrible for me. Like, something about how Peter Jackson captured it like really works for that, and he never got it again. Like the Hobbit movies, I don't like.
Where was
it? The first one especially has that problem. Where it's like it feels like padding.
Let me say it again, and I've said it 100 times.
Tiny book compared to.
The reason I hate Peter Jackson is because of what he did to The Lovely Bones. One of my favourite books that I wanted to adapt as a director. That was going to be my film. And
you can do the remake.
I can do the remake.
I'll produce it. We'll work it out.
He destroyed that book. And I had only seen The Fellowship of the Ring. And then I saw one of his original films, the zombie one, Brain Dead. I think that's a few different names. Actually, like, that's great fun. It's nonsense, but great fun. And then I watched the second Hobbit film with my class, and oh my god, that's an appalling film.
I like the end of that one.
Not the Hobbits.
When Smaug turns up, which should be pronounced Smorg.
Smorg, okay.
Oh, so they actually pronounce it wrong in the...
I don't know. I've only ever heard people call it Smorg, but because they're not English, I'm pretty sure they just use like an American or like non-English pronunciation because they usually put in the U's and things, don't they? So
there's definitely bits in The Hobbit that work, but that's the point of it, right? Is that it was stretched to a trilogy because it was like, bring us the cash.
Yeah. Like, they were going to film 2 movies, which we all thought was mad, and then they got like partway through and like, yeah, you know what? We can show Ute Boll how to stretch a movie out.
Yeah. Clip that. I'm just looking at Dungeon Siege. I was trying to get a bit of a vibe of the game, and at the end of the day, it is a role-playing game. So I'm sure there's lots of lore in it. There's probably a lot of stuff that they used as part of the film, but haven't really, without doing like proper research, got an idea of, like we were saying, how much of it really is taken from it and how much of it is, let's take this tiny seed and just use it as a way to do a generic thing, which kind of feels like what's happened with some of his other films.
My kind of understanding seems to be that, that the game is very light on story. From what I've heard, like, you start as a farmer, which is why the main character is farmer in this. And then as you play the game and the way you play changes your character class. So instead of picking like a class of warrior, mage or something, if you start using bows a lot, you'll change to being an archer.
That's cool.
That makes sense. I actually think I prefer that. It's too much pressure to choose at the beginning.
Really? It sounds like a good idea because you could switch and swap.
I would love if there was a remake of this done in the Scott Pilgrim style, where you saw that happening.
That'd be really interesting.
Be cool. Yeah,
that'd be interesting to see in fantasy in general.
Yeah, just you see him fighting, and then like it's like, you've now leveled up on boomerang skill. Would you like to upgrade to pickaxe?
Yeah, how does the boomerang factor in that?
I feel like boomerang's got to be level 5. You're going to just start with throwing hands. Boomerang's at least level 5, if not level 10. But I'd love to see that, where you can see, like, it's like, you can now choose, save the princess, sleep with the beer wench. Let me make films.
Do both. Do what you want. I think there's a missing trick there, because clearly, like, we're learning about this game and how it's slightly different, and also apparently it's one big area. It doesn't have loading screens. You don't go into one area to another, and that's something unique about it as well. And I'm not saying one seems to lend itself more to something that could translate on screen than the other, but it's just about thinking creatively. What do people like? We've spoken about this before. What do people like about the game? How can that be translated to? Because we were talking about Alone in the Dark and kind of looked at the recent Last of Us adaptation and how it wasn't necessarily about making it a shot-for-shot remake, although they did do it pretty close. It was about taking what people felt and experienced as part of the game and try to convert that or recreate that in its own different medium. It seems such a shame to kind of just take a name and a setting and a character and go, this is an adaptation. And it's hard because I haven't played it, I don't know, but the vibe I get with all of these adaptations, and that is why I think they're received so poorly, is that you're tapping into a very niche market of people that are really going to love this game and they have high expectations of this adaptation. You are going to piss them off. And unless you can bring something to the table that people really like, I'm thinking maybe like the new Dungeons and Dragons film that got really well received. People have gone to see it regardless of if, number one, they play it, number two, they even know that it's a game. So it's about bringing both worlds together, making a good film, but respecting what makes people love that game. And the vibe I get is that he just doesn't care about that.
Yeah, that's what I've always gotten from most of his stuff. Is that it's just a name to pop on something that he's interested in. Like, we're going to do this horror movie, Alone in the Dark. Games are in. Like, let's grab that, and we'll have Christian Slater team up with someone and be in the daylight.
Yeah, there wasn't much darkness. I wonder, is he, like, I'd love to know if he's a big gamer, but I think we've spoken about last time, Claire, weren't we, saying about how maybe the rights were quite cheap, and then
he's
it
a
kind of
shrewd
gave...
businessman. He saw that game adaptations were either starting to be a thing or were about to be a thing, and the man bought up rights left, right and centre. And again, it's that thing that he's an amazing businessman and a brilliant producer. He just doesn't have the eye of a director or a writer. But he's not wrong. He probably did make some money off of these. He probably did make budget back. And, fair fox to him. I like making money too.
Yeah, that's something he
like money.
He spoke about slightly when I met him. He was talking about
Really?
I asked him about going back to all the games. I can't remember if Blood Rain 3 must have come out. Things. And he was saying, he wasn't so interested in making them anymore, but they were sold. So, he'd do a film for himself, his investors would lose money, then he'd go and do Blood Rain 2, his investors would make money, then he'd go and do Darfur or something, lose money and then hop onto post.
People were talking about that a lot lately. It was coming off the news about Greta Gerwig. Yeah, because obviously now she's sort of attached to bigger studio films, and she's known for being an indie director, and everyone, there's a bit of a polarizing view of, is that something to aim for? Is that something to, is that what success looks like for people? Is that something to be celebrated? And then there's a lot of people going, sell out versus, no, this is something that is great to achieve. And people did bring up Nolan. I know everyone is, them two are synonymous with each other now, but people were saying about how he kind of did that a bit for himself, but he still got so much out of it for himself. So he went into the Batman trilogy and the Dark Knight and did all of that. But oh my God, has he completely made that sits separate from everything else, So it's just about playing the game a little bit with this stuff. And Uwe Boll plays it in his own way, and like we've said, we have to respect that because he's clearly enjoyed it. I guess he keeps making the films, and he defends his honor and does what he wants, fights critics in the ring, and now does restaurants and stuff. So.
I mean, I can't judge because my boss is trying to fight fucking Musk in a ring, isn't he? So.
Oh man. I can't believe that's real. I just don't even... I feel like I've...
Did you see
I go on.
The documentary of him doing the boxing matches?
No.
It's great to watch. It's interesting. In fact, it might have... There's a documentary
special episode.
Yeah, you gotta check it out. One of the best bits is one of the critics, like they interview everyone he boxes afterwards, and one of them was like, "I hated him before. They punched me in the fucking face, and I hate him now."
Yeah. I have to do like a special feature.
I do love if you put Ute Boll into Google, the first thing is Ute Boll movies, and the second is boxing match.
Yeah.
There you go.
Documentary. Ute
It's
Boll
nice to
Raw
be
2018.
like have the slashes in your title. You know, director, writer, producer, boxer, chef.
Yeah,
why
apparently
not?
the restaurants are really good.
Yeah, we were saying this last time, weren't we?
Yeah, he's got
Very
really
interesting.
good
I'm
because he's
definitely
a shrewd businessman.
Oh, that's what we were talking about. The directors and like selling out and whatnot. Like,
Yeah.
I was just gonna add my 2 cents that I think it's fine. Like
Yes.
indie directors wanting to go and make big movies and things. Like, not everybody wants to stick to the same thing, and sometimes, you know, like Nolan's a great example of someone who went and did Batman and did something really interesting with it. But also, then like did the Prestige. Like the Prestige would not exist if he
It's one
didn't
of
do
my
Batman.
favourites.
Yeah, I absolutely adore the Prestige.
I think the Gerwig thing is, as I saw someone point out, a little bit disingenuous. She is an indie film star. She's only directed her third film. Her first film was an indie coming-of-age drama, but it had multiple Oscar nominees in it. Then her second film was an adaptation.
It was a Little Women adaptation.
Like, literature classics. That's hardly an independent film. And now she's doing fucking Barbie for Mattel and Warner Brothers. Like, she isn't a mumblecore indie director. Like, she was that kind of actress, but as a director, she's doing her own thing, and let her be.
Maybe they've attached her too much to No Born Back in that sense. They've kind of viewed it in the same.
Yeah,
but you're right. It's the sense of like, it's optics. It's optics.
Yeah.
It's what people assume, and also it's just I don't know.
Yeah, that's something that also Bold spoke about at length. The fact that like a lot of things we call indie are actually studio pieces. At the time, his big thing was Juno.
It's like non-blockbuster. That's what people.
Well,
it's the non-biggest
things in the
cinema.
Sundance issue that Little Miss Sunshine sort of created, and that's my problem because I love indie films. I so love indie films. It's like, I love Sundance movies, which are relatively independent because they're not made with just studio pictures. But most of them end up getting bought by like, Fox Searchlight's not exactly the tiniest of studios.
Yeah.
And then when I was doing the film criticism work, I was watching real indie films. I was like, there is quite a difference. Some good difference, some bad difference. But there is such a misinterpretation of that, and he's not wrong.
Yeah, that was like one of those things. So he's not wrong. He points out, like, it's made by a studio. It's not indie.
That's such a good point.
And it's got this huge backing behind it.
Yeah.
The Fox Searchlight thing, it's like, and you get all the other ones as well in the different studios. It's all optics. It's this sense of, and like fair play, it's a business. Like, it's great that those movies are getting made as well. And unfortunately, I think there's been a bit of a drop off on those side of things, the mid budget things like that. But it's the way people describe them. You're right. It's not. They're not indies. They're mid budget, or they're not blockbusters. They're more drama, character driven films, or things like that. But unfortunately, I think the easiest way to say it is how they'll say it. He said, and there is such a disparity between what people see as blockbusters versus indie films this day, because it's so saturated with sequels, CGI stuff, superheroes. That's created its own, realm of what we consider a blockbuster. So something that is slightly refreshing and a bit different. Everyone's just like, it's indie, and it's like,
To bring it back to an indie film, Ute Boll presents Raging Bull, 6 Ruthless Critics versus 1 Furious Filmmaker. Only 89 minutes long. It's available for free on Tubi TV in the US. So I will be logging on with my VPN. Daisy, maybe a watch
oh my god,
party?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, oh my god, yes, we have to do it. We have to do it.
Maybe we can just record our thoughts as we watch. Just a live.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
We'll do this when I'm home in August.
That sounds great. Okay, it's happening. It's happening. Decided live on air. We've got to do it. We've talked about the man long enough. We need to see him more.
Let's do it at my mum's house. She can just be like, "Oh my god, what is wrong with my daughter?"
So, what are you doing?
This is the thing. Anyone that sees us watch these things that are related to the podcast, it does give us a bad rep, I think.
No, the worst thing is because my housemate now, when she comes in and sees me watching a film, And she's like, "Is this a podcast film?"
This is for the
Half
podcast,
time
and you're
I'm
like, no.
No, this is
What
just
was
a
it?
film I'm
What?
watching. Oh no, it happens
Which
all
one?
the time. No, it just all the time happens. I'm like, no, I'm just choosing to watch this because I thought it might be good.
Oh, it appears I was wrong. Okay, cool. Well, I know we've spoken quite at length about the film, but does anyone have anything extra to add about anything about like the production? Maybe this is quite a high production one for Ute Boll. As I say, not a massive fancy fan, but I did like seeing the I keep forgetting what their name, the Krug. They kind of made me laugh. They kind of reminded me of the monkeys in Wizard of Oz, the way that they were walking.
I got Planet of the Apes vibes.
Yes, that too. I did have a fact about this actually. I'm just trying to find it. It was something about how they were made. Oh, some of the individual Krug costumes cost over $10,000 to produce. Apparently, I'm not sure I saw that level of quality in the.
Yeah, which one?
Maybe it was for the close-ups. Yeah, maybe it was for the one close-up that maybe one of them had, but.
Probably
Again,
using like top quality leather.
They were hot in there. This is an interesting one. Go on.
No, you go.
Sorry, I think there's. Oh, this is just slightly off in a tangent, but during production, apparently, Ute Boll sponsored a charity visit to the set, and guests got to see behind-the-scenes work. And proceeds were donated to a children's hospital, but apparently Ray Liotta was extremely upset by this irregularity. In future interviews, he would talk about how crazy Boll was for allowing so many spectators onto the set. I don't know if you guys have seen any more about that.
Ray Liotta's like, fuck the kids.
I've heard about Ray Liotta's rant. I didn't know this was why. I just saw people coming on set and was just like, what is this garbage?
Oh my god, it's literally like in the last season of Ted Lasso when they invite everyone to watch the
training.
Yeah. But interestingly enough,
guess...
they did do like a big PR push, and Ray Liotta was out in costume, and he was promoting that and not the other film that he did. So I still feel like there's a little, there's some sportsmanship there still.
What are we talking about here in level of he invited people to the set? Because like I'm totally not with Ray Liotta. If it's less than 10, if it's 50 plus, totally on Liotta's side. What the fuck's going on there? So like,
I'm doing my classic thing of saying something and not really backing it up with any.
No, that
evidence
is
of any
podcasting
kind.
101.
101.
It's just 30 school kids.
It's just like look it up yourself, guys. Come on, you come on to us while you're listening. No, let me look it up, you guys.
Just picturing it's like 30 school kids stood there, and then it's like the scene where Ray Liotta has a go at Lily Savosky. That scene where it's like, "I'll take his daughter's virtue," and blah, blah. Like, you can't
now
say this in front of children, Uva.
Therapy.
I mean, I do feel bad for him. He's probably in a silly costume that, like, he's thinking it's gonna like have all the effects and stuff. And you've got all these people going, "Oh my god, it's the guy from Goodfellas," and he's there going, "Hello, let me cast my spell." Like, you would be a bit like, "All right, wait until the finished product."
I'm seeing the same fact everywhere, but I'm not seeing it in any other way. So I don't know. Maybe it was made
no
up.
figures, no facts, no figures. What did you say? Boll complained about Liotta?
Yeah, he learned about Liotta. Like, and the time I met him, he learned about a few of the acts. Just like when they were giving back when said, like, Ray Liotta was giving a terrible performance in Dungeon Siege because like he's never worked with special effects before, so he really didn't understand it. And, like, he just couldn't get to grasp what was going on. Okay, but it is the director's job to fill in the blanks.
I was going to say, to direct him. You know what? Like, Ute Boll, never going to change, is he? Like, love it. He gets all these good people in this cast, and then what does he do straight after? He's like, throw them under the bus. On to the next. What other video games are out there that need adapting? That's always his next move.
I want him to do
making films again, though, right? I don't know.
Apparently, he's come out of retirement.
I want him to do the Gardenscapes game.
Wait! Disney Dreamlight Valley.
No. I want the Gardenscapes, Homescapes, like, and he randomly is going, and suddenly the whole house turns into a Candy Crush kind of thing, and he's like, "Oh, I can't decorate the house."
What about those really weird games that are advertised on like social and stuff, where it's these people like
Garden
oh
State
my
is
god,
one of those.
someone left me when I'm pregnant kind of things. Is that what that is?
It has Gardenscapes has the one where it's like the mum and the little child and they're freezing and they want you to send money down the drain and then you send it out the window instead and they set on fire.
What?
I'm so perplexed by this whole thing.
It's honestly,
I just keep seeing things and
gaming
I'm like,
advertising is wild because they've been banned because they don't represent the game and yet they're still there.
Huh.
That's crazy.
And now there's the new trend of paying mid-celebrities on Cameo to do. So, like, there's one from the guy from Suits, and he's like, "Hey guys, I just really want
I've
to
just seen
this
that.
amazing new game that I played." And it's like,
I was like, I don't follow you. That's embarrassing. But
he has a kid.
He has a kid.
Loads of them have done them. It's very strange. Jonas Brothers did
It's a
some.
new trend.
Yeah,
new trend.
There's like one company that kept getting like Schwarzenegger and people. It's like, what is this?
There's definitely
got to make that pandemic money.
Yeah.
Right. Any other thoughts on the film at all?
I thought the film missed a couple of tricks towards the end. Like, Farmer didn't get, his coronation to become king.
I thought that. I was like, as much as I really wanted it to end, I did think there should have been a little neat, like, now you're the king.
There should have been a crown on a head, for God's sake.
Thank you for reminding me. I did think that it was very neat. We didn't talk at all about the fact that his son is killed off in, like, the opening 15 minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
And then it all ends neatly with his wife, him saving his wife. And it's fine. She isn't they're not grieving anymore, despite the fact it's only been, like, 2 days, because she's pregnant again. Like, I guess in those times, kids were quite replaceable.
Expendable.
But it just felt a bit like, that's nice and neat, another boy on the way, no props.
Which he also doesn't find out about. The film ends before he finds out about it as well. Yeah. And he gets no armor in the final battle.
He's a farmer. He has a boomerang. He doesn't need armor.
My partner came down when I was on like the hour mark. And I was like, I don't know what is left in this film. Because,
too much is left.
He's been declared king at this point. And she was like, oh, you're going to have the coronation and we're going to fucking...
And you're like, guess what?
He's like, he's going to find out that the wife's pregnant. She's going to find out that she was queen.
Nope. None of it.
Just ended. And my partner's just like, wait, where's all the end?
The resolution.
Where's all the end? I love it. Yeah, I think we were talking about the battle with the armor and stuff. One thing I wanted to bring up was, Si Tung-ching was the action director, but apparently Uwe Boll personally choreographed the scene featuring Jason Statham and Ron Perlman fighting the Krug in the barn, which I think it was more towards the beginning. Mm-hmm. I actually thought the fighting choreography and the way it was shot was quite good. I think sometimes action like that can kind of lose me, and I felt very similarly to Alone in the Dark towards the beginning as well. It's almost as if when you're setting things up at the scene and you've got the characters and you're kind of stuff, it's when there's just too much going on. But that's just a me problem anyway. When there's too much to see and I can't keep an eye on things, it's...
And I think this film loses a lot of its story in the battles. Like, you always need a kind of...
It feels like it gets stuck in the middle, right?
Like, it gets a little disjointed, but I think you can really feel like they're just like, oh, we'll just capture this. This looks cool.
The Krug fights were giving me Power Rangers, and I mean that in the best way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're right. It was like TV, movie. It was like,
and it was
definitely.
Like Warren said that quite towards the beginning, and this whole film did feel like it could have been an episode of Xena or Hercules or any of those shows. The whole film.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Jinx. That's why I was kind of saying this kind of 90s nostalgic kind of so bad it's good vibe would have worked really well, but unfortunately I'm looking at other films that came out in 2007 for this cast as well, and I'm like, just doesn't add up. I'm interested to see what people sort of thought about it at the time. What I do know is that it didn't make its money back at the box office, grossed 2.98 million in US opening, didn't crack the week's top 10, and it didn't, as I say, didn't make its money back. Here we go. Uwe Boll announced that it would be his first and last movie with a large budget. However, DVD release, or maybe it's the Blu-ray, or both, gathered a revenue of over home end, as we used to call it when I used to do that before. Which everyone else does. I don't know why I acted like that. That was the only. It was only us that was calling me that. $15 million. $15 million. So more than its box office grossing. So a little bit of a cult classic there.
It actually looks like it never even got a cinema release in the UK. I'm just looking at.
I was going to say because I completely forgot to check what else was out that weekend.
I was just about to do that because I haven't done that in ages. But it got in 2008. It got a DVD premiere, which would also explain why it has on Amazon 2 releases with one 2007, one 2008. Because I'm guessing that was also the extended. But yeah, I guess they didn't even bother releasing it in the cinemas.
So I don't think a lot of it goes cinema here.
This just goes to show, though, what people are talking about the not giving things a chance to breathe anymore. Like, this isn't a great film, but it still made its money back in DVDs, and we've spoken about it before, and like the makeup of the business, but it's becoming even more and more scary now with people being taken off streaming, no chance to for it to find its audience, and this just goes to show that really does work, because as I say, this isn't a great film, but it made its money back in home end. So the other thing I was going to say is, very strangely, obviously I watched this before I went away, got to the hotel room, Amazon Prime was logged into some, thank you Matteo, we used it all weekend, logged in, flicking through, what did I see on Italian Amazon Prime? In the Name of the King, right there. I was like, this is really strange. I don't think I've ever seen the poster for this film in my life, but I've watched it this week, and I just pointed to the TV and I said to my partner, I was like, this is the film I was telling you about with Jason Statham and the boomerang. We did not watch it again. We did not watch it. No. Okay, so in terms of some scores and reviews, Rotten Tomatoes, any guesses? What are we thinking? Higher or lower than the Flintstones, Claire? Where are we betting?
Oh God, it's probably higher.
So remind us, it was a 25%.
I think the
25% audience.
24.
Just for a recap for everybody, and maybe even Warren as well, who's not aware. We did the Flintstones prequel way back in our first episode, and since then we've found out that the Flintstones original has a relatively low audience
23
score.
critic and 25 audience.
Right.
For the John Goodman Flintstones.
Now listen, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but the problem is that every bottom 100 film we've watched, for the most part, seems to perform better. So
like 90% of the films we've covered for this podcast have higher Rotten Tomatoes critic and audience.
And
now,
because the
it.
Flintstones is a misjudged masterpiece.
Like,
and it's going to be on our merch.
Everybody loved that when I was a kid.
Thank you.
The bad guy was called Sharon Stone.
Yeah. And it had, what's his face, Carl McLachlan. Every film that has Carl McLachlan as a villain is a banging film.
Oh, interesting point. Do you think he would have been better than Ray Liotta in this film?
Yes.
Oh, if he hammed it up, if he tried to play it straight.
Hamming the shit out of that.
It could have been menacing, but it would have been work.
Yeah, no, hamming the shit out of that, it would have been amazing. Him and Matthew Lillard fucking one-upping each other for who could be the most zany.
Who can chew the scenery quicker. Okay, so we are on a 4% for critics and an 11% for audiences. So this, despite being quite low on the list, number 94, Rotten Tomatoes is quite harsh this time. The consensus is featuring mostly wooden performances, laughable dialogue, and shoddy production values. In the Name of the King fulfills all expectations of an Uwe Boll film. And what I have to say about that is, I think they picked up on all of the things that we actually didn't have a problem with. We didn't really talk about the performances being an issue and the production values. It just wasn't really great, and it was more about the story and the pacing. So it's interesting that that's what people didn't like about it. And I personally think it exceeded expectations of an Uwe Boll film, which was very well received. So Metascore, it was a 15. Top end of the scale was a 50 from Real Reviews. A second-rate regurgitation of Lord of the Rings, of course. Everything about it, down to set and costume design, 8 to Peter Jackson's epic trilogy. However, while Lord of the Rings was a grand story of scope and power, this feels small in more ways than one. pretty standard. Lower end of the scale, a 10 from Variety, a plodding patchwork, which I really like the alliteration of derivative fantasy adventure, medieval production design, risible dialogue? I should definitely have looked that up before I started speaking. I don't know what it means. Unimpressive CGI trickery and haphazardly edited action sequences. Again, maybe a little bit harsh, I think. As we opened up the episode with Warren, meh is all I can really come back to. I think it perfectly perfectly encompassed my experience along with you both. Anything else from your side, Claire? Anything to flag?
Gotta be real honest. Went to Glastonbury. Definitely forgot we did a podcast. Came back from Glastonbury. Had to do my annual review for work, and then suddenly it was Monday and I had not watched this. I had not watched this film, so I watched it, and that was about all I had time for. So I'm very sorry.
Man, what a
Definitely
come down,
did not do my homework.
No, don't worry. Like, I respect you for coming back from Glastonbury and watching a genre you don't like, with a lead actor you don't like, with a director is questionable at best. So hats off to you.
I mean, there was like almost a week in between. But I was thinking, it's like, this time last week, I was like packing up my tent, saying goodbye to the
That's what I mean. You've got to have a buffer,
Yeah.
something like that.
This
is why I watched it before I went away, because I knew I would not want to watch this after I came back from Rome. I'd be like, oh god.
Oh no, sorry, there was a
absolutely
buffer.
not.
There was a very disappointing buffer of Asteroid City, which is actually perhaps more disappointing.
Oh
dear.
no. Okay, I have not seen that. I will pick up with you offline. Once I have seen. Okay, so of course it wouldn't be a bottom 100 film if it wasn't nominated for Razzies. 2009 nominee for Worst Picture, nominee for Worst Supporting Actress for Lily Sobieski, which I should penny in it. Not fair.
Yeah.
She
Nominee
cropped
Worst
up in the
Supporting Actor
Wicker Man,
Burt
didn't she?
Reynolds. She is the Wicker Man. Yes. Worst Director winner Uwe Boll. Worst Screenplay nominee. And I can quickly have a look and see what they were up against. Generally, as we know,
2007
tends to be the same.
That wasn't
What
I
else
Know
is
Who
coming up?
Killed Me, was it? That was 2008.
No,
Or
I
was
think
it
that was
2007?
2007.
Do you know who Boll
But it might have been the one
originally wanted for the
after,
King?
though.
Say this again.
Sorry, say it again.
Do you know who Boll originally wanted to play the King?
Oh,
Who?
tell.
Sean Connery.
I was getting very Sean Connery vibes.
I
of the
was
performance.
too.
Because I had to check. I was like,
There you
is
go.
that Sean Connery? And I was like, that's definitely not Sean
Is it-
Connery.
Do you think he did that thing that they do in Lost in Translation where he just tells him to act like all of the James Bonds? So he just goes through one by one. Okay, so worst director, Uwe Boll, won for 3 films. Did they all release in the same year? 1968 Tunnel Rats, In the Name of the King, and Postal. Did that come out at the same time? That's
I
weird.
thought Tunnel Rats came out way later.
Oh, weird. Maybe it was
And
just like
Postal
a collated
copies
thing.
later.
That's what I thought. Worst picture, it lost to The Love Guru, which is also on our list. Worst. Oh no, that's Indiana Jones. That's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That's a different king. But very on the hot topic. Worst screenplay, it lost to The Love Guru. Burt Reynolds lost to Pierce Brosnan in Mamma Mia. The absolute sacrilege. And Lily Sobieski
Is
lost
it
to
wrong?
Paris Hilton in Repo, the genetic opera. So
We do
There
really
we
have to
are.
watch that. I will say I've just looked up the 29th Golden Raspberry Awards, and of the 5 Worst Picture nominees, 4 of them are on our list. So that was a bad year.
yes, it
for
was a
cinema.
strong year. It was a strong year.
The only one that escaped
Can't
the
wait.
list was M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening, which
The
I'm
Happening.
sure many people think should be on the list.
What?
That's what happens
Don't
with M
people
Night
hate
though.
that one?
I personally am a big M Night fan.
But I feel
Yeah,
like of all of his films, that one is the one that people really hate. Or
I
is
haven't
it
seen
The
that one.
Village? Is it The Village that they really hate? It's one of those two.
Both, it seems.
Yeah.
The
I think they've all
Happening's the
got
one
their
everybody
haters,
makes fun
haven't
of.
they?
You've not seen The Happening, have you, Daisy?
No.
I won't spoil it then, but someone described
Okay.
what The Happening is, and I was like, that is preposterous.
Okay, I need to watch it. Say no more. Say less. Say It also won something like, it was called the Leo Awards, but I'm not gonna lie, guys, I accidentally closed my tab, so we're gonna skip over that one because I've never heard of it before. But apparently, I think it was like a good one. Let me open it back up. I'll talk about something else in the meantime. One
Just
19. No, but I just closed the load, and it's very slow. I don't know if it's because my laptop's like Zoom and Audacity. I can't. On IMDb, 19.6% voted 1 star. I always love to see what the strongest star rating is. And it's a 1.7 on Letterboxd. I just have one Letterboxd review to highlight from Chuck Dowling, who said, I was expecting something shockingly bad, and instead I got a mix of mildly competent and mildly amusing. Most of the action is well staged, there are moments of good special effects, Canada looks lovely, and Ray Liotta's wardrobe is a must-see. And I actually think that's the closest to summarising how I feel about the film as well. And it was just nice to have something positive on the podcast. I'm not going to find these awards. It's too slow.
That's fine. We don't need them.
We don't need them. Here we go. Leo Awards. But I think it's more of the technical awards. Winner for best costume design, best production design, and nominee for best picture editing.
Oh,
interesting.
Would not be given any money for costume design. No offense, costume workers. You did a fine job, but you didn't do a stellar job.
They don't need your praise. They got an award, so it's all great. Okay, cool. So let's discuss our ratings then. Who would like to go first? Warren, would you like to go first? We do out of 5, but half is allowed.
Out of 5, but half is allowed. I think it's kind of like a 2.5. So I think it's middle of the road. It's not bad enough to offend me in any way. It's not something I'd actively try and rewatch. And I think its biggest issue is there's a lot of build up for things, and the payoff shots are missing and stuff. Like simple things like when they fall into the water, and Ron Perlman and Will Sanderson, who was like Ute Boll's best friend, that guy. So you'll see him crop up in just about everything. So keep an eye out for him. They fall off the zip line that they're on. You watch them fall, and you don't see them hit the water. So the joke loses impact, and I think that's kind of the perfect metaphor for the entire film. Like, even Burt Reynolds' death, you don't watch him die in his death scene.
Yeah.
Very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Oh, I read something about that, about how he's never died on screen or something.
Yeah, apparently first death scene. So he was like adamant to make it special and try to write the dialogue
yes.
for it.
And Ute Boll was like, it's not made the cut, I'm afraid. Madness. Claire, what are you saying? Is that in the name of the king?
I framed this film with Asteroid City and No Hard Feelings, and I've just checked. I gave Asteroid City 2.5. I gave No Hard Feelings 3. I definitely would rather watch this again than Asteroid City again, and I feel like this made more sense than Asteroid City, which breaks my heart because I'm a mad fan of Wes Anderson. So I do think that's partially my sad score for that. But also, if you ask me if I wanted to watch this again or No Hard Feelings again, I'd be hard pressed to choose. So I'm going to go 3 stars.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I've heard really good things about No Hard Feelings.
I just felt like they copied the film. My review was literally, it's like someone watched Failure to Launch, wondered why it didn't make a good film, and decided that inappropriate age gaps and rape jokes were what were missing. And I'm telling you, they weren't. The audience I saw it in were laughing away. It just, the uncomfortableness was too uncomfortable for me. But your mileage may vary depending on how you find the first 20 minutes.
Okay, that's good to know. But anyway, I think that's fair comparing. I always find it so hard. I do find myself changing star ratings when I go, I can't give it that because I gave so and so that last week.
Yeah, that's
stuff
where
always
I am.
and I need to be better at being more harsh and also more giving on the ones that I really do like, because I hold that last half a star and I'm like, no, it's not perfect, I can't give it. And I'm like too nice where I'm like, well, it's a film and it made sense, so it has to be more than one.
It was in focus.
Yeah, so there's just and maybe I need to be a bit more extreme. That being said, I'm going straight down the middle with this one. I was going to give it a 2. Do you know what? I'm going to give it a 2 because I need to factor in the fact that I don't like this genre, and that's okay. I shouldn't have to like amend my rating just because I'm like, I'll give it half a star, it's not for me.
I think I've gone higher because I'm like, I can't tell if this is good or bad or not because I don't get this genre.
So I tend to try and attach like descriptive words to how I described it when I'm watching it. And 2 is more like a poor than a meh. And the poor is purely just because it was long, not really my genre. And I wasn't engaged with it as much as possible. But that's purely because, so, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do 2 or 2.5?
Go with your heart.
Yeah.
You said 2.
Oh, 2.5. I'm being too nice.
2.
Oh, no.
I know, we both went, go 2, and you went 2.5.
That's Daisy.
Yeah, it is me. I just doesn't feel right because the way I've just been talking about it doesn't describe something that's poor. It describes something that's meh.
Let's go with meh then.
Meh. Let's go with meh. I think I'm just going to have to revise my whole star rating at some point and just start being really with it. Okay, all right. But the more important thing is, does it deserve to be on the bottom 100?
No.
What do we think? No.
No.
Agree.
So now
I've seen way worse.
And we need to put you on the spot now, Warren. If you're saying it doesn't deserve to be on there, what would you like to put on there in its place? If you've seen way worse.
Oh my. What will I put on there? I have to think now. Oh no.
I love doing this to people.
Got to catch one of those things that, you know, when it floats through your head, you go, I've seen way worse. Just catch one of those in a net. Anything.
Like, I kind of watched, what was it? It was like a kind of Deathstalker or Deathstalker 2 or something. That was like way worse.
I don't know if I've heard it.
Slightly more entertaining because of how bad it was, but it was like my fantasy genre things have been, I guess, all the classy stuff. Because this was the first one where like a female character turned up, and it was like, oh, that's where the battle thong meme comes in. Wow, her armor covers everything but her breasts. Okay. I see why women hate this.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
This is where it comes from.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, but the classic Keira Knightley and King Arthur is the golden standard.
Someone did point out this actually, that the armor didn't have like a boob shape molding to it for the women in this film, and for that they gave it an extra half a star.
Oh.
Gotta respect it. Okay, cool. All right then. So shall we talk about some films that we really like for our top 3? We have decided to go for films around royalty. It could be kings, but it could also be queens, princesses, kingdoms, that kind of realm. Get it? That kind of realm. Mm-hmm. Warren, would you like to go first, or would you like us to go first?
Yeah, I can go first.
Cool.
Okay. I decided to try and go for some off-kilter choices.
Nice.
Claire and I definitely didn't panically try and pick these before we started. So my first one is Aquaman.
Amazing.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Royalty of the sea. We might get more royal sea people later, perhaps.
Oh, I thought we might. Tell us a bit about why you like Aquaman.
I'm a big fan of James Wan. Like, when Saw came out and things, just such a fun style that he has. Like, I love just the way he moves camera and things, and you know, Jason Momoa is so lovable. Like, that guy could read the phone book and make it sound interesting. You know, he seems like the kind of guy you could have a beer with, and then he could happily tuck you in at night as well.
I was going to say, carry you home.
I would love to be tucked in by Jason Momoa. I didn't know that was something I needed until now.
Right? And Yeah, and it's just a cool take on Aquaman. Like, there was a movie that really sort of tried to make Aquaman cool, where he'd become like the weird fish meme guy, even though he was pretty badass in the comics. And I think they succeeded, and they made a really fun movie out of it all. And of course, it's that age-old story of like the farmer or lighthouse keeper coming up and being king.
Yeah, the lost son, the unknown heir. It's a classic.
Parallels.
Yeah. So that's Aquaman. My next choice was The King's Speech.
Ah, cool. I still haven't seen this.
Oh, it's worth a watch.
I know. It's on those lists, isn't it? Those damn lists. The ones I never get to is because I'm doing this one. Tell us more about The King's Speech.
It was one of those movies where I seem to somehow exclusively miss a lot of the Oscar Best Picture movies every year. I don't know why, but somehow I exclusively miss them, and I went out to watch this one, so I'm going to watch one. I'm sure this was nominated.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was just thinking this, like, maybe he just got nominated.
I think it won quite a few awards.
I think it won like everything.
I think it swept the BAFTAs, but I think it got a fair amount in the States as well.
And drama is not usually my cup of tea, but I like Colin Firth, and this one just hooked me. It's just a really nice movie, and I thought the performances were wonderful for something that's like a low-key, nice story. Like
a lot of it's just like two-hander scenes, isn't it? Just him and his speech therapist in a room together, and it keeps you gripped.
Yeah, and it's just thoroughly entertaining all the way through. Watching this guy be taught how to sort of speak and deal with his impediment. So yeah, it's a King's Speech. And then the last one I think had to be done was Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Oh my god, amazing!
I like what you did. Much more creative than I was.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure whether to go Godzilla versus King Kong, because I prefer that movie, but this one literally has King of the Monsters in the title.
I mean, King Kong has King in the title also.
Oh yeah.
And now I know.
Oh man, how did we not see that? I was like, yeah, no, I'm with you. I get it.
Like, do you know?
It's like, I'm gonna have to be the one in the room to say it. King Kong has the word.
Are we sticking with King of the Monsters, or are we going with versus?
I'll go with King of the Monsters, because I think this is a unique take on being king, where the king has to come along and defend his throne from a usurper instead of the usurper taking on the evil king. And I think that fits more the royalty theme than a god versus a king, although that was a much better marketing tagline.
It's funny because when I think of Godzilla, I don't think royalty, but you've given me food for thought there.
Definitely, it's completely changed my perception of the films, quite frankly.
But now I'm sad he doesn't have.
And now my name. There must be some fan artwork somewhere.
Can someone
somebody draw Godzilla on a throne?
Yeah, I would like some pictures of Godzilla wearing a really cute crown, please.
Oh man, I'm just embarrassed by my picks now, to be honest.
Well, Dave, I was going to say, you can go first because you did the homework this week and I did no homework. But if you don't want to go first, you don't have to.
Just kind of curious to see what you have, but then I kind of don't want you to take it. Although I have got some backups, but they're just all very samey. So
I've got six, and I've only picked one Disney film of those 6.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. I'm gonna steal one right from under you. I'm going Princess Diaries.
No! Why did I do that to myself?
I was asking. I was like, Daisy,
I know.
You may have it.
I know, but I always go first. It feels so.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to be nice because you said you haven't done your homework. I've got a few. Have Princess Diaries.
Okay, thank you. Princess Diaries, it introduces us to Anne Hathaway. It's about another unlikely heir coming to the throne, stopping, villainous people trying to do treason and backstabbing. Taught us all about being royal. And it's just an absolute charming, adorable film.
So
and if you don't love it, then
soundtrack
bangs
for
you.
Yeah. It sounds like
so
the fun teen comedy version of Godzilla King of the Monsters.
It certainly
That is the tagline they needed.
I think Godzilla based itself on the Princess
Does
Diaries.
Godzilla King of the Monsters teach you which cutlery to use? Because that's how I know it's all from the Princess Diaries.
No. The bigger thing is, does Godzilla King of the Monsters have an epic makeover scene?
Kind of. Is that the one where Mothra shows up?
It's
the one where Mothra shows up.
Mothra gets a makeover?
No. Oh, no. Is this the one? I think they give Godzilla, like, this super, like, extra radiation, so he glows red for a while. So that's kind of a makeover.
That is a glow-up.
Cool.
That could be from the other one, but I'm pretty sure that's in this one. I'm sure that's how he defeats.
Parallel.
I feel like I'm just imagining some double bill now of, like, Princess Diaries and Godzilla, and it's just...
Yeah, love it.
Prince Charles, cinema, if you're listening, just saying.
Thank you,
as you can imagine from my reaction, Princess Diaries was going to be my top pick. I never stopped talking about it, quite frankly. I read the books when I was younger, loved them, consistently watched the film most years, watched it when I came back from San Francisco, and I was just like, doing the Rick Dalton point. It's just absolutely iconic, and for that reason, I am going to have to still give it some love in some way by making my choice Princess Diaries 2.
Fuck's sake.
Well, we all know what one I really wanted.
Do you get himbo Chris Pine, though?
I do get Chris Pine. Now, listen. So, last year I was very hungover, and it was one of the worst hangovers I've ever had, including Vegas. And what did I put on? Princess Diaries 1 and Princess Diaries 2. I hadn't watched Princess Diaries 2 for a long time. Princess Diaries is always on rotation. It's brilliant. It's such a good film. And it's kind of like, it very much takes the thing of, okay, she is a princess now, but she's still her, and she's getting into her usual escapades and embarrassing moments and stuff. It's a very solid sequel. It's got great cast. It's still got Julie Andrews in, and some of the quotes from Julie Andrews' Queen, people think it's from the first one. It's actually from the second one. So if you haven't seen the second one and you love the first one, please go see it. It'll be on Disney Plus.
The second Princess Diaries 2 has a scene in which they have a slumber party and they do mattress surfing down the stairs. Do we think if there had been an In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale 2, that Jason Statham would have mattress surfed down a flight of stairs? Yeah?
I think I have some news for you. There are 2 sequels to In the Name of the King.
There are.
Do they have mattress surfing? And is Jason Statham in either of them?
No, we go to Dolph Lundgren,
right,
and then Dominic Purcell, the brother from Prison Break, not the main guy.
Oh, right.
Nice.
But no mattresses.
Nice.
But yes,
No,
in conclusion, I would like to support your choice, and I'm still very happy with my Princess Diaries 2, because it's a very strong sequel, and if you like Chris Pine, you haven't seen him in that, he's very Chris Pine in it. So, and mattresses.
Okay,
right,
I'll go for a more serious pick for my second choice. I'm going to go for Sofia Coppola's Marie Antoinette.
Nice.
Love it. You've got the kind of period drama, but obviously with that very modern twist, and I'm not a period drama person, and that's the perfect level for me, because you've got that modernism to it, and also I like Sofia Coppola. I adore Kirsten Dunst. She is in my top 4 most watched stars on Letterboxd.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She used to be in the top 3, and she got trounced by Paul Rudd when I watched the new Ant-Man.
I'm not going.
I love Paul Rudd too, so it's fine. But yeah, I just love it. I like the rock soundtrack. I love the visuals. I like that it tries to humanise Marie Antoinette, and I do think it does try and really hammer home her naivety in her young age, but also like that she was the, whatever that time period's equivalent was of a vapid celebrity. She didn't know what's going on. Bless her.
Interesting on the naivety point of view. People are bringing it up a lot off the back of Sofia Coppola releasing her Priscilla trailer now, and talking about how handling those complicated female characters in that sort of way, or not even the characters being, but the situation and the optics and things like that. I've never actually seen it, and I do like Sofia Coppola. I have already mentioned Lost in Translation in the podcast. But I do remember just this picture going around Tumblr at the time, which I'm pretty sure was Kirsten Dunst and Jason Schwartzman in it.
Yes, he is. I think he's the king.
And they're both fully in costume, but they're both holding a Mac and listening to the Mac.
Yes.
It's just this, it's a very Tumblr image. I absolutely loved it. So I don't know why I didn't watch the film after that. But no, that's a really great shout, actually. For my second one, I am going to go for not so serious, but maybe slightly different to what people we might be expecting. I'm going to go for Monty Python and the Holy Grail. We're going back to King Arthur, so a little bit more sort of back in the medieval space. I'm pretty sure my dad showed this to me. He shows me most of these films like this when I was a kid, and all I could remember was the "'Tis But a Scratch" sketch. That is this one, right? Like all of a sudden, suddenly thought it was in Life of Brian. I panicked. But I rewatched this, I think, in the pandemic, and it was one of those ones. It was just like a lazy Sunday afternoon, and I was ironing, and I was with my housemates, and I was just cackling. I was just absolutely cackling away. And it's just one of those ones where there's some really, really fantastic comedy now, and there's also some comedy from that age, time where it's aged like milk. But this stuff is so witty and clever and fast, and it relies on the most simplest of humor, and half of it is puns, which is just silly and hilarious, and wordplay is great, and all of that. And I think it's, for me, it's probably Monty Python at its best from what I've seen. And just lots and lots of quotable material. So if you haven't seen it and you're unsure what Monty Python is, I would definitely recommend giving it a go and seeing what you think. But that is my second choice.
Cool.
That's a great choice.
I'm gonna bring the tone down. But,
right down.
You got to be you. I've got to be me. I've got to go with the internet personality I have created for myself.
Oh my god, is it going to be one of the Christmas ones?
No, I did think about it though. I did think those Christmas Prince films, the holes they had on me, and I hate Christmas.
Or the Princess Switch as well.
Princess Switch, less good. Still fun.
Okay, all right. I knew which one you preferred.
If you're going to go with one of those trilogies, you've got to go Christmas Prince. No, I'm going to go Shrek 2.
Oh, this was also on my list.
It's about
yes.
royals. It's about not wanting to be royal. It's about the ridiculousness of royalty, and just one of the best dinner table scenes committed to film. I love the introduction of the King and the Queen. I love the when she has her diary and she talks about the sleepovers with the other princesses, and I just love Shrek 2, and I think there's enough recorded evidence of me on enough people saying how
from
much I
both
love
of
Shrek
us
2,
probably
that no more is needed.
Yes, it's the Binge Movies podcast, right? That you did.
Yeah, I did. We ranked every episode of every film from Shrek.
Go listen to it. It's an amazing
and then
episode.
myself and Daisy also then went on.
We did
Unequal sequel, where we also talked about it being the best sequel ever made.
Oh.
So to be completely honest, yes, I think I don't. Our feelings are immortalized in 2 different recordings. Check them out. But I wholeheartedly agree. You can't think of royalty without thinking of Shrek 2, and that's frog. My blessing in life. Oh my god, that's what I was going to say. And the little frog with a crown. But then I started thinking about him dying, and that's the third one, isn't it?
That's the third one. He dies.
When he croaks and he has the little lily pad. And then he comes back to life. Okay. Anyway, if we start talking about Shrek now, we'll never finish.
No,
Wait, so was that your third choice?
Yeah, it was my third, yeah.
Yes? Okay. Yeah. My third choice is not Disney, but it is animated. It's Anastasia. I haven't seen it in so long, but this had me by the chokehold as a child. I had an Anastasia doll, and I was in love with Dimitri, and Rasputin scared the fucking life out of me. The only memory I have of my very first house that I live in was running out of the living room when Rasputin and his crazy little bat thing were on screen, and I like hid behind the staircase or something. But just one of those things that one of those films that feels like, so it's like a time capsule. If and when I do watch it rarely, because I think it was quite hard to get at some point. I don't think it was on streaming anywhere.
It is now on Disney Plus, or it was a while ago,
now on Disney. I remember because I was like, it's not Disney. I think they bought the rights because they bought
Fox.
So I'm definitely going to have to rewatch that. But it's just, I don't have to, it's just so tangible for me. Like, it feels like my childhood. And I didn't know anything about like any of the background, any of the politics related.
Have you ever researched any of it?
I haven't. I kind of don't want to ruin it for myself.
It's kind of harrowing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because I've never seen the film, but my dad told me all about the actual historical.
Oh, no. See, I mean, like, just purely the Disney princessy, like, vibe to it. The fact that I had her doll and she had, like, her poor clothes and and her rich clothes, all of this. I think it's lovely animated, and it's something. It's a little bit of anti-Disney programming, a little bit. I know,
which is why I refused to watch it. I was very loyal to my corporate overlords, even as a child.
And do you not remember there was a time when it was just like, I think it was about 10 years ago. I think it must have been when we all first started getting like Twitter. So what's that, 10, 15 years ago and stuff, or Tumblr and things like that. And every other, like all the girls were like, Anastasia, not a Disney film, shut up. It's just like, no one's actually saying that. Where everyone knows it's not a Disney film. I just remember seeing it posted all the time. But I am actually gonna, now it's Disney Plus, I'm gonna watch it. Because I don't really have much else to say about it because it's been so long. But as I say, childhood film, had the doll, scared of Rasputin. What more do you need to know? If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to say, this is the point of the top threes that they're recommended. I don't have to say every time if you haven't seen it, see it, but I will. Sorry.
My honourable mentions were going to be a couple of Disney classics. The Lion King or Aladdin. Hard to choose between them.
I had The Lion King. Yep.
Obviously, Little Mermaid lives in my heart forever, but that's a little bit less about being a royal, whereas Lion King and Aladdin are very much about royalty. Spencer, I loved Spencer when it came out.
I did wonder if that might be in your top three.
It was, if I'd have not got Princess Diaries, it would have been. And also just shout out to The Queen, which isn't the best film, but I remember watching it and being really blown away by what they do.
Is that Helen Mirren?
It's Helen Mirren in an outstanding performance, and it's like a very
when was that out? I can't place it.
I want to say like 2005, 2006.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
But it's set the weekend, I think, that she finds out Princess Diana has died, and it's just about her reaction to Princess Diana's death. So it's a very small film, and it's all about performance. I've only seen it once, but I remember being quite impressed with it when I watched it, so that was just an honourable shout out as well. I think she got nominated, if not won, for that.
That's interesting. I'll have to look that up.
Really, her performance is outstanding.
Cool. I also had an honourable mention, which I feel like you will enjoy. Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, because
she was a princess. Yeah, that was it. Just a little slight curveball with that one, but yeah, considering she ends up being a princess, and I can't even remember what his name was. What was the name of the guy that Anne Tudyk played? That
King Candy.
King Candy. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's getting too late for me now. It's been a long day. She says every day.
Time for bed.
Time for bed. But before we do that, just to wrap up here for In the Name of the Kings episode, please do let us know if you've seen it, and if you're planning to see it off the back of that episode. We love when you interact with us online. So you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at WRatedPod, and on Letterboxd at WRated. Warren, do you want to let us know where we can find you on socials? And if you have anything that you want to plug or shout about, please do feel free as well.
I'm on Twitter, Warren_Badenski. On Instagram as well, just I think Warren Badenski. I have a movie that I'm trying to get released at the moment. We're looking for a home. It's called Dead Name. We've got an Instagram and a Facebook, so just search Dead Name Movie. It's a kind of cool sort of crime horror thriller that takes a very sort of Lynchian surrealist turn. And if anybody's familiar with the phrase of the title of the movie, it's more or less about that. So if that triggers you, then obviously avoid it. If it's a subject matter that you want to see something on, I hope we did some justice for it. But we've got a trailer up as well, so you can find a trailer on YouTube for us.
We'll definitely share that as well.
Yes, absolutely. And Claire, where can we find you?
Claire Ellen Hope on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and...
Oh, you're on Threads, are you?
I am illegally on Threads because Threads is not available in EU countries, but my VPN at work is UK, so I can only be on Threads on company time.
I won't say why that's completely ironic, but...
yeah, but those that know.
Cool. All right then. Well, thank you so much,
Daisy, where
Warren,
are you?
for joining us. Oh, me? I don't know. I'm gone, mate. I am on. Let me see. I don't even know anymore. Do I usually even say where I am? I've not got it in my notes.
You're like, I'm Daisy Vic Edwards on Twitter.
There you go. You could just do it for me. No,
I'm Daisy Victoria Edwards on Instagram and Letterboxd.
She knows it better than I. There you go. Done. Don't even need to do it. Amazing.
Perfect.
Okay. And on that note, I think it's time for us to go. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and thank you, Warren, for joining us, and thank you, Claire, for picking up where I dropped off. If you
thank
enjoy
you for having
listening
me.
It's been an absolute pleasure. For everyone listening, if you really enjoy listening to our pod, which we hope that you do, please give us a follow or a subscribe. We'd love to get a rating and review as well. If you've got time and you'd love to give us a little bit of a dopamine boost. We hope you can join us for the next episode where we will take on our next worst rated film. See you then.